This video is going to help get your repurposed and edited PLR products online and ready to make sales. Now there's a couple of things that we need to take care of before we can start taking payments. And one thing that I forgot to mention in the previous video when we were editing our sales page, and that's the metadata. See, one of the things that I didn't do was I did not change the title in the source code, and that's what's going to show up in the browser tabs. So let's go ahead and do that now. Now again, I'm in Composer, and to access the source code in Composer, come on down here to the bottom and click on Source. And right up here at the very top, it's where I need to change the title at. Let's go ahead and do that now. And along with the title, there are several other meta tags that you can use as well, most of which are now outdated, but there is one that will definitely help you in your SEO or search engine optimization, and that's called the description tag. And you're allowed up to, I believe, 150 or 160 characters in the description or of your sales page. You can have more than that, but I'm pretty sure that only 150 or 160 characters of your description will show up on the search results page. So in between these double quotes here after content, that's where you want to put your description. And it should also be keyword rich as well. Let's come on back to preview. Oh yeah, I want to get rid of this background image here as well. Let's go back to source. And right down here under body style, background image. I mean, there's other ways you can do this, but the quick and dirty way is just that. And come on up here and click on save. One other thing I want to do with this is down here at the bottom, in addition to creating our PayPal button and put that in place of this image, I also want to add links to policy pages down here in the footer. Now this is not mandatory, but it's something that I want to get in the habit of doing on all of my sales pages, and you should too. It's just an added layer of protection for you. So for example, in earnings disclaimer page, I've already created a mock-up here. Actually, it's totally blank, but in the source code, you can see that I've added the title earnings disclaimer, and that's why it is showing up here. So if we did something similar for privacy policy, come on up here to new, go to source, and in between the title tags, and then in between the opening and closing body tag, this is where you would put all of your content related to your privacy policy page. And then click on save. Give it a title, and it should be saved ideally in the same directory or folder as your other pages, or as in this case, your sales page. That's the index.html page there. And then come on back here to our main page, select the text that you want to link that to. Come on up here and click on the link icon, and select the folder icon here, and then select the page that you want that link to be associated with. And if you want that link to be opening in a new window or a new tab, you have that option here, and you've got some other options you can work with as well. But to keep things simple, that's fine and dandy. Likewise with the privacy policy, select the text, click on the link icon. You can put an absolute URL in here, meaning HTTP, blah, 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 to your particular page you want it linked to. But since everything's located in the same folder, this is much easier. And likewise, if you have an affiliates page because you want the assistance of some affiliates to help you generate additional income, do the same thing there. Now come on up here and click on save. And there's a couple of things I want to change out on the thank you page. Let's come on back here to my sales page, go to source. I just want to copy the title because I'm a copy and paste kind of guy. Go to the thank you page, go to source, highlight and replace that title with the new one. Come on back to preview and click on save. Now we're good. Now one other thing about the thank you page is that this is the download page for your customers to go to after they successfully make a payment. Now depending upon the payment processor you're using, whether it's PayPal or ClickBank, for example, sometimes they'll have specific text that you have to have on this particular page. So be sure and check with them just to make sure you've got your thank you page set up properly in their eyes. Now for us, what we want to do is take the link to our uploaded videos or ebooks that our customers are buying and add those links to our thank you page. So at this point, we've already finished up all of our videos, we've finished up our ebooks, whatever our product is, we've zipped it up, we've uploaded it to our server, and we grab the URL from that particular item, and we're going to add it to our thank you page. For example, in this case, we're going to demonstrate how to add a link to our thank you page by selecting the text. Come on up here and clicking on the link icon. And then here's where you'd want to put the URL to that particular item. And like with the policy pages, if you wanted that link to be open in a new window or a new tab, you can do that and click on OK, and we're good. and then click on Save. Now then we want to upload all of our files to our server. Then we're going to head over to PayPal, create that PayPal button, and then come on back here and replace this image with that PayPal button, and then re-upload our sales page and overwrite the existing one that's already on our server, or will be soon. So I'm going to be using FileZilla. Let's go ahead and reconnect. Okay, we're good. And there's plenty of tutorials online on how to set up and use FileZilla. It's a free FTP client. As a matter of fact, you could even use Composer's Site Manager option over here on the left as an FTP client as well. That's the makings of a different video. I'm going to go ahead and close that out for the time being. Okay, come on back to FileZilla, and over here on the right side is our server, and over here on the left side is our computer. So we're going to upload all of our files to a folder called Demo. This is going to represent a subdirectory. You could just upload it all to your root directory, and then the main domain name is all you'd have to add to the browser to get to the sales page. But I'm going to do the subdirectory here, and then you want to upload all of your files, including the images folder and the images within that folder. Select them all, right click, and then left click on upload, or you can just left click and drag them all over there, and there we have it. Now let's come on back to our browser and refresh, and there's our sales page. Come on down here to the bottom here and see if that's going to take us to our earnings page. Yes, it does. Now then, we want to go to PayPal and create our payment button. Now this is the newer look of PayPal, so this might not look exactly like how yours looks, but the main point here is you want to get to the point on your PayPal account where you create the payment buttons. So for me, I'm coming to Tools, clicking on More, and then over here on the left, clicking on PayPal buttons. Then over here on the right, clicking on Create New Button. First off, step 1, choose the proper button. Scroll up a little bit here, hit the drop down arrow. We want the Buy Now button. Give our product a name, price. And if you're wanting to test this first, then you might want to have a test price in here like 50 cents or $1, and then come back here and change that to the actual price you're going to be charging your customers after you've gone through the testing process. Now, as far as the button, if you want to customize that at all, you can. Clicking on this link here, you can either use the default button that's provided here, or you can even put in your own button by adding the URL to your image right there. But we're just going to stick with the PayPal button there and stick with all the other default settings for that button. Coming on down here, we want to use, in my case anyway, the Secure Merchant Account ID, and then take a look at step 2. Again, there's really nothing here, just by default, that box is checked so that all my buttons are saved. And then step 3 is important. Since this is a digital product, I do not need the customer shipping address, so I'm going to check that radio button for no. But these 2 here boxes are important. This one, if somebody cancels the checkout, I want them to go to a certain page. In this case, I want them to go back to the sales page. You might have a separate page or a landing page you want them to go to. Maybe you want to collect their email address, whatever. This is the important box though. This is the URL to our thank you page. Once payment is successful, you want them to be able to automatically get their stuff. So you want to put in the URL here to that thank you page that we created and uploaded. And it's always a good idea to double check this. Just copy this URL, put it in the browser, and make sure that it goes directly to that thank you page. Ta-da! And there's our clickable link too. Okay, come on back here, and then click on Create button. And grab this code here. Come on back to Composer, and let's replace this button image with our PayPal code. And that's this right here. And then check Preview. There we are. Let's come on up here and click on Save. Come on back to FileZilla. Let's re-upload this and overwrite the existing one. Overwrite, OK. Come on back to our browser. Refresh. And then double check, make sure that goes to PayPal, and we're good. And that's going to bring us to the end of this video on taking your edited files from your desktop to the internet. Thanks for watching, and you have a great day.